Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Auntie Unplug's channel, where every story warms your heart and reminds you of the power of kindness. Today, we're sharing a beautiful tale about a brave little girl named Sarah. She's only 10 years old. On a cold, rainy day with no money and an empty stomach, Sarah steps out to find work because her mom is very sick and they can't afford medicine. She walks into a quiet, empty beauty salon owned by a lonely lady everyone calls Auntie Plug. The salon used to be full of laughter, but now it's silent, just like Auntie's heart after losing her closest friend. Can one small girl bring back smiles to a broken place? Can she fill an empty salon with joy again? And when a nervous bride named Zoya walks in, scared about her arranged marriage, can little Sarah help heal her fears too? This is a story of hope, courage, family, and love that grows when you least expect it. So grab a cozy drink, settle in. This 1 hour journey will touch your soul. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's begin. Auntie Plug and Little Sarah's heartwarming story. It was raining hard. Sarah was only 10 years old. She walked fast in her old slippers, getting wet in the cold rain. She held a small bag close to her. At home, there was no food left. Her mummy was very sick and needed expensive medicine. They had no money. Sarah whispered to herself, "Please, God, give me some work today." Suddenly, she saw a big sign outside a shop. It said, "Helper needed. Come now." The shop was a beauty parlor. Its name was Auntie Plug's Beauty Parlor. Sarah's heart started beating fast. She went inside. The parlor was very quiet and empty. No customers. Dust on the mirrors. Only one auntie sat on a chair. Her face had no smile. Her hair was turning white, and her eyes looked tired and sad. Sarah said softly, "Auntie, I came for the job." Auntie looked at her for a long time. Then she said quietly, "Come tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. Don't be late." Sarah felt happy inside. She ran home and told her mummy, "Mummy, I got work." Mummy smiled weakly and said, "My child, work hard and never lose your kindness." The next morning, Sarah reached early. Auntie Plug opened the door and took her inside. "Clean the mirrors, sweep the floor, fold the towels," Auntie said, and went back to her chair. Sarah worked the whole day. The parlor was big, but completely empty. No music, no laughter, no talking, only silence. At lunchtime, Auntie Plug sat alone drinking tea. Sarah quietly placed the cup and said, "Auntie, your tea." Auntie only nodded. She said nothing. Sarah thought, "Auntie looks so lonely." One evening, Sarah was cleaning a corner. She found an old photo on the floor. In the photo, Auntie Plug was young and laughing with another lady. Both had big smiles. Behind them was the same parlor, but full of colors and customers. Sarah picked the photo, cleaned it gently, and quietly placed it on Auntie's table. When Auntie Plug saw the photo, tears came to her eyes. She held it and looked for a long time. Then she whispered, "This was my best friend, Sonia. She left and took all my happiness with her." For the first time, Auntie Plug looked at Sarah and gave a small smile. Sarah's heart became warm. After that day, Sarah worked even harder. Every day she put fresh flowers in vases, made the mirrors shine, and arranged everything beautifully. One day, a lady came to get her nails painted. By mistake, the polish bottle fell and color spread on the floor. The lady started to get angry. Sarah ran quickly, cleaned everything, and then painted the lady's nails herself very carefully. The color was perfect. The lady became very happy. She said, "Little girl, you are like magic. I will send all my friends here." Slowly, customers started coming back. The parlor filled with talking, laughter, and music again. Auntie Plug started talking more. Sometimes she asked Sarah, "Child, did you eat?" Or, "How is your mummy?" One day, Auntie called Sarah and said, "Child, I will pay for your mummy's medicine. You do such good work." Tears came to Sarah's eyes. She hugged Auntie tightly. The parlor was running well now, but one day something strange happened. An uncle came to the parlor. He talked to Auntie Plug. Sarah listened from behind the door. The uncle said, "Sell the parlor. A new mall is coming. You will get lots of money." Auntie Plug refused. "This is my life. I will not sell." The uncle left angrily. That night, Auntie Plug was very worried. Sarah asked, "Auntie, what happened?" Auntie said, "Child, some people want to close my parlor. They want this place for their mall." Sarah said, "Auntie, we will not give up." The next day, the uncle came again and started shouting. Customers got scared. Sarah gathered courage and came forward. She told all the customers, "Auntie Plug made this parlor with love. Here every woman feels beautiful. Please help save it." All the customers supported Auntie Plug. They put photos on social media and wrote, "Do not let Auntie Plug's parlor close." Many, many people started coming. The story came on the news, too. The mall people lost. They left the parlor alone. Auntie Plug hugged Sarah and said, "Child, you saved my parlor and my heart." After that, Auntie Plug called Sarah and her mummy to live with her. Mummy became well again. Sarah worked with Auntie Plug and also went to school. One day, Auntie Plug changed the parlor board. Now it said, "Auntie Plug and Sarah's Beauty Parlor, where every heart becomes beautiful." Auntie Plug smiled every day. She used to say, "One small girl taught me to never lose hope in life." And Sarah used to say, "Auntie, you taught me that with love and hard work, we can win any difficulty." Both became family for each other. The parlor always stayed full of happiness. Months passed, and Auntie Plug and Sarah's beauty parlor became the most famous one in the whole Mahala. Ladies came from far away just to sit in those shiny chairs and feel special. The walls were now covered with bright posters, fairy lights twinkled in the corners, and soft music always played. Every corner smelled of sweet jasmine and rose because Sarah put fresh flowers every single morning. Sarah was still going to school in the morning, but as soon as the bell rang, she ran straight to the parlor to help Auntie Plug. Mommy was completely better now and even started helping in the kitchen at Auntie's big house where they all lived together. One sunny afternoon, a very rich lady walked into the parlor. She wore big sunglasses and expensive clothes. All the other customers stopped talking and looked at her. The lady sat down in the best chair and said in a loud voice, "I want the most special bridal package you have. My daughter is getting married next month, and I heard this is the best parlor now." Auntie Plug became a little nervous because bridal packages were very big work. Many days of facials, hair treatments, mehndi, and makeup. They had never done such a huge order before. Sarah saw Auntie's worried face and whispered, "Auntie, we can do it together. I will help every day after school." Auntie Plug smiled and said to the rich lady, "Yes, madam, we will make your daughter the most beautiful bride ever." The rich lady looked at small Sarah and laughed a little. "This little girl will help too?" she asked. Sarah stood straight and said politely, "Yes, madam, I may be small, but I know how to make people feel beautiful from inside and outside. The lady raised her eyebrows, but then smiled. Okay, I like your confidence. Let's start tomorrow. From the next day, the parlor became even busier. The bride, whose name was Zoya, started coming every week. She was a quiet girl who looked a little sad. Sarah noticed that Zoya never smiled much, even when everyone said she looked pretty. One day, while Sarah was gently massaging rose cream on Zoya's hands, she asked softly, Zoya Abi, are you not happy about your wedding? Zoya looked surprised that a small girl asked such a question. After a long pause, she said quietly, I am marrying the boy my parents chose. I have never even talked to him properly. I'm scared. Sarah listened carefully without stopping her work. Then she said quietly, My mommy always says that true beauty comes when the heart is also happy. If you are scared, your face will look worried even with the best makeup. Zoya's eyes became wet. But what can I do now? Everything is fixed. Sarah thought for a moment and then said, Maybe you can talk to him once before the wedding just to see if he is kind? Zoya shook her head. My family will never allow it. That evening, Sarah told everything to Auntie Plug. Auntie listened quietly and then said, Beta, sometimes we can help in small ways. Let's make Zoya feel strong and brave first. Beauty is also about courage. So, every time Zoya came, Sarah and Auntie Plug did something extra special. They told her funny stories, played her favorite songs, showed her beautiful bridal pictures from magazines, and taught her little ways to feel confident. Slowly, Zoya started smiling more. One day, she even laughed out loud when Sarah made a funny face in the mirror. But the wedding day was coming closer, and Zoya was still nervous about meeting the boy she was going to marry. Sarah kept thinking and thinking about how to help her new friend. One evening, after the parlor closed, Sarah sat with Auntie Plug and said, Auntie, I have an idea, but it is a little risky. Will you help me? Auntie Plug looked curious. Tell me, Beta. Sarah whispered her plan, and Auntie's eyes became wide. Sarah leaned closer and spoke in a low voice, her eyes shining with excitement. Auntie, Zoya Api told me the boy's name is Fahad. She said he comes to the big bookstore cafe every Saturday evening with his friends. What if we go there tomorrow, just by chance? I can take Zoya Api for a small outing after her facial. We can sit at a table near him. Maybe she can see him from close, hear his voice, see how he talks to his friends. If he looks kind, she will feel less scared. If not, at least she will know. Auntie Plug's mouth opened in surprise. Beta, this is very bold. If her family finds out, they will be angry with us. Sarah nodded quickly. That's why it has to be secret. We won't talk to him. We'll just sit far enough to watch, like in the movies, but real life. Please, Auntie, Zoya Api is so quiet and afraid. I want her heart to feel light before her wedding. Auntie Plug looked at Sarah for a long time. Then a small smile came on her face. You have a big heart, little one. Okay, we will do it, but we must be very careful. No one should know. The next day was Saturday. After Zoya's facial, her skin was glowing like moonlight. Sarah said loudly so everyone could hear, Zoya Api, Auntie is giving you a special gift today. Ice cream at the new bookstore cafe. Come with us for half an hour. Zoya looked confused but happy. Really? Okay. Auntie Plug locked the parlor early. The three of them walked to the big bookstore cafe that was only 10 minutes away. It had soft yellow lights, shelves full of books, and the sweet smell of coffee and cakes. They found a corner table. Sarah chose it carefully. From there, they could see the whole cafe, but were hidden a little behind a big plant. Sarah whispered, Zoya Abi, the boy with the blue shirt who just came in, is that Fahad? Zoya's eyes became wide. She looked carefully. A tall boy with gentle eyes and a soft smile was sitting with three friends at a table near the window. He was laughing quietly at something his friend said, then helping the waiter pick up a dropped spoon. Zoya watched without blinking. Fahad spoke politely to his friends, listened when others talked, and even shared his cake with the boy next to him. After 10 minutes, Zoya's cheeks became pink. She whispered, He looks kind. He is not loud or rude like some boys. Sarah smiled big inside, but kept her face calm. Auntie Plug squeezed Zoya's hand under the table. They sat a little longer, drinking cold coffee and eating chocolate cake. Zoya kept stealing small glances at Fahad. Once, Fahad looked toward their table. For 1 second, his eyes met Zoya's. He gave a small, shy smile and then looked away quickly. Zoya's hand started shaking. She hid her face behind her cup, but Sarah saw she was smiling. A real, happy smile for the first time. On the way back, Zoya walked slowly, like she was dreaming. She said softly, "Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Auntie Plug. Today I feel lighter, like maybe everything will be okay." Auntie Plug patted her head. "Beta, always remember, beauty starts when fear ends." The wedding day came closer. Zoya's appointments continued, and every time she came, her eyes sparkled more. She started talking about small dreams, what colors she liked, what flowers she wanted, even little jokes about married life. But one afternoon, just 3 days before the wedding, Zoya came running into the parlor. Her face was pale. She pulled Sarah and Auntie Plug into the back room and whispered with a trembling voice, "My cousin saw me at the cafe that day. She told my mother I was with you both, and she saw me looking at a boy. Now everyone is angry. They say I did something wrong. They might cancel the bridal package and never come here again." Sarah's heart sank. Auntie Plug's face became serious. Zoya's eyes filled with tears. "I'm so sorry. Because of you, your parlor will lose big money, and maybe your name too." Sarah held Zoya's hand tightly. Auntie Plug took a deep breath and said, "Child, money and name are small things. Hearts are big. We will fix this." Sarah looked up with determination. "Auntie, I have another idea, but this time it's even bigger and scarier. Are you ready?" Auntie Plug raised one eyebrow. "Tell me, Betha." Sarah started whispering her new plan, and both Zoya and Auntie Plug listened with wide eyes as the little girl explained something that could either save everything or change it forever. Sarah took a deep breath, her small hands trembling a little as she held Zoya's. The back room of the parlor smelled of creams and nail polish, but right now it felt heavy, like a storm was coming. "Listen carefully," Sarah whispered, her voice low so no one outside could hear. "Tomorrow evening, Zoya Api's mother is coming to the parlor herself to cancel everything and take Zoya away early. Your cousin told her we are a bad influence." Zoya's face went white. "Then the wedding might even be called off. My father is very strict. If he thinks I disobeyed—" Auntie Plug's eyes narrowed. "We cannot let fear win. Tell us your plan, Beta." Sarah looked at both of them, her heart beating fast. "We have to make Zoya Api's family see that Fahad is a good boy, without them knowing we planned it. Here's what we do." She leaned even closer. "Tonight, when the parlor closes, I will go with Auntie to the bookstore cafe again. Fahad goes there every day now to study. He told his friend loudly last time. I heard it. We will sit close enough to listen. If he says anything kind or gentle, Auntie will secretly record his voice on her phone. Just a few words, nothing that shows his face." Zoya gasped. "But recording someone without telling, is that right?" Sarah nodded seriously. "Only a few seconds, just enough to let your mother hear how softly and respectfully he speaks. Then, tomorrow, when your mother comes here angry, Auntie will play it by mistake, like the phone slips and the voice plays out loud. Your mother will hear a boy's gentle voice saying something nice, maybe about respecting parents or caring for family. She will ask whose voice it is. We will act surprised and say, 'Oh, that's a customer's son who came to pick her up yesterday. Such a polite boy.' Auntie Plug's eyes widened. And if she asks more? Sarah continued. We say his name is Fahad and that he was talking about how excited he is for his upcoming wedding and how he wants to make his future wife happy. If she hears that, maybe her heart will soften. Maybe she will think he sounds exactly like the kind of boy she wants for her daughter. Zoya bit her lip. But what if she gets more suspicious? What if she finds out it's the same Fahad? Sarah's voice dropped even lower. That's the risky part. If she starts asking too many questions, Auntie will change the subject and offer her free tea and the best facial. While she relaxes, I will quietly show her the parlor's visitor book. Fahad's mother came once for a haircut last month. Her name and phone number are written there. If Zoya's mother sees the same last name by chance, she might start wondering if it's meant to be. Auntie Plug looked worried. Beta, this is like walking on a thin rope over a river. One wrong step and everything falls. Sarah's eyes shone with determination. But if we do nothing, Zoya Api loses her wedding and we lose our biggest customer. Maybe worse. People will gossip that Auntie Plug's parlor teaches girls bad things. We have to try. Zoya's tears fell silently. I'm scared, but I trust you both. Let's do it. That night, after locking the parlor, Auntie Plug and Sarah slipped out quietly. Mummy thought they were going to buy extra supplies. The bookstore cafe was warm and crowded. They found a small table behind a bookshelf, close enough to hear Fahad's table, but hidden in the shadows. Fahad was there, reading a thick book. His friends had left early. He was alone, sipping tea and talking on the phone in a very soft voice. Sarah's heart raced. Auntie Plug carefully held her phone under the table, recording. Fahad's words floated through the air. Yes, Ami, I promise I will always respect her family's wishes. I don't know her well yet, but I already pray every day that Allah makes me a good husband who keeps her smiling and safe. He paused, listening to his mother, then continued gently. I want to take care of her the way Abu takes care of you. That's all. Sarah and Auntie Plug looked at each other in the dim light. Perfect. They waited until he ended the call, saved the short recording, and hurried home without anyone noticing. The next afternoon, the parlor was strangely quiet. All appointments had been canceled. Customers whispered that something big was going to happen. At exactly 4 o'clock, Zoya's mother marched in like a storm. Her face was hard and angry. Zoya followed behind, eyes down, looking small and frightened. I want to talk privately, she said sharply to Auntie Plug. This parlor is teaching my daughter wrong things. We are canceling everything. No more bridal package. Auntie Plug remained calm. Please, madam, sit and have tea first. We can talk with cool minds. She led them to the back room. Sarah brought a tray of tea with shaking hands. As she placed it on the table, she accidentally bumped Auntie Plug's phone that was laying there. The phone slid, the screen lit up, and suddenly Fahad's recorded voice played out loud in the silent room. I promise I will always respect her family's wishes. I pray every day that Allah makes me a good husband who keeps her smiling and safe. Everyone froze. Zoya's mother's angry face changed. Her eyes widened. Whose voice is this? She demanded. Auntie Plug acted surprised. Oh, I'm so sorry, madam. That's a customer's son. He came yesterday to pick up his mother. Such a polite boy. His name is Fahad. The mother sat very still. Fahad? She repeated slowly. What did he say his full name was? Sarah spoke innocently from the door. I think his mother wrote Khan in the visitor book last month. Let me check. She ran and brought the old visitor book, opening it to the exact page where Fahad's mother had signed, Mrs. Aisha Khan. Zoya's mother stared at the name. Khan, the same family name as the boy they had chosen for Zoya. Her hands started shaking. She looked at Zoya, then at Auntie Plug, then back at the book. This cannot be coincidence, she whispered. The room was so quiet that everyone could hear their own heartbeats. Zoya's mother closed her eyes for a long moment. When she opened them, the anger was gone. Something softer, maybe even hope, had taken its place. She reached out and touched Zoya's cheek gently. "Zoya," she said very quietly, maybe we should trust a little." But just as the air began to feel lighter, the door of the parlor burst open. Zoya's cousin, the one who had seen them at the cafe, stormed in holding her phone high. "I have proof," she shouted. "They planned everything. I followed them last night and saw them recording secretly." Everyone turned. The cousin waved her phone triumphantly. "I have a video of them hiding and recording the boy." Sarah's heart stopped. The secret was out, and now everything, the wedding, the parlor, their trust, hung on what would happen in the next terrifying few minutes. The cousin stood in the doorway like a thundercloud, phone held high, victory written all over her face. The video on the screen was shaky but clear enough. Auntie Plug and Sarah sitting behind the bookshelf in the cafe. Auntie's phone pointed toward Fahad's table, the red recording light glowing. Gasps filled the small back room. Zoya's mother slowly rose from her chair, eyes fixed on the video. Her face hardened again, the softness that had appeared just moments ago vanishing like smoke. "So this is what happens in your parlor?" she said, voice cold and sharp. "Secret recordings, spying on innocent boys, teaching my daughter to lie and sneak around?" Zoya shrank back, tears streaming down her cheeks. "Ami, please, it wasn't like that." The cousin smirked. "I told you, Kala, this little girl and that old woman planned everything. They wanted to trick you." Sarah felt her legs go weak. She looked at Auntie Plug, whose face had gone pale, lips pressed tight together. Auntie Plug finally spoke, voice steady but low. "Madam, whatever you saw in that video, please let me explain." "Explain?" Zoya's mother snapped. "You recorded a stranger without permission. This could go to the police. I should call them right now." The word police made everyone freeze. Sarah's heart pounded so hard she could hear it in her ears. The cousin stepped forward, still holding the phone. "I already sent the video to Abu and the rest of the family. They're on their way here. This parlor should be shut down for good." Zoya let out a small, broken sound and covered her face with her hands. Silence fell, thick and terrifying. Then something unexpected happened. Zoya's mother didn't reach for her own phone. She didn't shout. Instead, she stared at the frozen video frame showing Fahad's gentle face in the background. She stared for a very long time. Finally, she spoke, voice quieter now. "Play it again," she said to her niece. The cousin blinked, confused. "Kala?" "Play the video again, with sound." Reluctantly, the cousin pressed play. Fahad's recorded voice filled the room once more, soft, respectful, full of care. "I promise I will always respect her family's wishes. I pray every day that Allah makes me a good husband who keeps her smiling and safe." Zoya's mother listened to every word. When it ended, she looked straight at Auntie Plug. "You did all this just to let me hear his voice?" Auntie Plug lifted her chin, no longer hiding. "Yes, madam. We did because your daughter was terrified. She had never heard the boy you chose for her speak. We never meant harm. We only wanted her heart to feel peace before such a big step." Sarah stepped forward, voice shaking but clear. "We didn't mean to trick anyone. We just wanted Zoya Api to know he is kind, because he is. We saw it with our own eyes." Zoya's mother turned to her daughter. Zoya was crying silently, unable to look up. "Is this true?" the mother asked softly. "Were you that afraid?" Zoya nodded, barely. The mother closed her eyes. When she opened them, tears shone there too. "I thought I was protecting you, but maybe I was only making you more afraid. The cousin shifted angrily. Kala, you can't seriously. But at that exact moment, the parlor door opened again. Heavy footsteps. Zoya's father and two uncles walked in, faces dark with anger. They had clearly seen the video already. What is going on here? The father thundered. We were told this place is ruining our daughter. The small room suddenly felt too crowded, too hot. Sarah's stomach twisted. This was the moment everything could break forever. Zoya's mother turned to her father. Everyone waited for her to speak. Instead of agreeing with him, she did something no one expected. She walked straight to him, took his hand gently, and said, "Listen to this first, just 30 seconds." Then, before anyone could stop her, she took the cousin's phone and played Fahad's recorded words again, loud enough for every person in the room to hear. The father's angry face slowly changed as he listened. His eyebrows drew together, not in rage, but in something softer. When the clip ended, the room was completely silent again. The father looked at his wife. That, that is the boy? His wife nodded slowly. He turned to Auntie Plug and Sarah, eyes searching their faces. Then he asked the question that made Sarah's breath catch in her throat. Why would two strangers risk so much for my daughter's happiness? Auntie Plug met his gaze without fear. Because, sir, she said quietly, sometimes strangers become family when they care with their whole heart. And this little girl, she placed a hand on Sarah's shoulder, taught me that kindness is braver than rules. The father looked down at Sarah, small and trembling, but standing tall. He looked at Zoya, crying but no longer hiding. Then he looked at his niece, still clutching the phone like a weapon. Finally, he sighed, a long, heavy sigh that seemed to carry years of worry. He turned to his brother and said, "Let's all sit down. I think we need to talk. Really talk." But just as the tension began to ease, the parlor phone rang sharply. Auntie Plug answered it. Her face changed. She covered the receiver and whispered, voice full of new fear, "It's Fahad's mother. She says her son just told her everything, that he recognized Zoya at the cafe weeks ago, and that he has been praying for a way to speak to the family properly before the wedding." Everyone stared at the phone in Auntie Plug's hand. Fahad's mother continued speaking on the other end, and whatever she was saying made her eyes grow wider and wider. Something big was about to happen, something none of them could have planned.
Auntie Plug held the phone tightly, her eyes growing bigger with every word from the other end. Finally, she whispered, जी जी ठीक है, आप अभी आ जाइए. She put the phone down and looked at everyone in the crowded little room. Zoya's angry father and uncles, the shocked cousin, the tearful Zoya, and small Sarah standing bravely beside her. Fahad's mother and father are coming here right now, Auntie Plug said quietly. Their son told them everything tonight, how he saw Zoya at the cafe weeks ago, how he recognized her from the engagement photo, how he has been too shy to say anything, but how he has prayed every single day that this marriage happens because he already feels she's kind and good. Zoya's father's mouth opened, but no words came out. The cousin lowered her phone slowly, looking unsure for the first time. Within 15 minutes, the parlor door opened again. This time, Fahad's parents walked in. Simple, respectable people. The mother in a soft dupatta, the father with gentle eyes. Behind them stood Fahad himself, tall and nervous, hands clasped in front of him, eyes fixed on the floor. The room became so quiet you could hear the tick-tock of the wall clock. Fahad's mother spoke first, voice warm and steady. "We heard everything from our son. We also heard there is some misunderstanding. We did not come to fight. We came to ask, may our children meet properly, just once, with both families present before the wedding day?" Zoya's father's mouth opened, but no words came out. The cousin lowered her phone slowly, looking unsure for the first time. Within 15 minutes, the parlor door opened again. This time, Fahad's parents walked in. Simple, respectable people. The mother in a soft dupatta, the father with gentle eyes. Behind them stood Fahad himself, tall and nervous, hands clasped in front of him, eyes fixed on the floor. The room became so quiet you could hear the tick-tock of the wall clock. Fahad's mother spoke first, voice warm and steady. "We heard everything from our son. We also heard there is some misunderstanding. We did not come to fight. We came to ask, may our children meet properly, just once, with both families present before the wedding day?" Zoya's father looked at his wife. She nodded slowly, tears still in her eyes. He cleared his throat. "Yes, yes, of course. That should have happened earlier." Chairs were quickly brought from the parlor. Everyone sat in a big circle. Two families, Auntie Plug, Sarah, even the cousin who now sat quietly in the corner. Fahad finally looked up. His eyes found Zoya across the circle. She was blushing deeply, but this time she did not look down. She gave the tiniest smile. Fahad smiled back, shy but real. Tea was served. At first only the elders spoke about families, values, future plans, but slowly the talk became lighter. Fahad's mother praised Zoya's beautiful skin and asked Auntie Plug about her special creams. Zoya's mother admitted she had been too strict out of fear. Then Fahad spoke for the first time, voice soft but clear. "I promise I will always listen to Zoya and respect her dreams. I don't want a wife who is afraid of me. I want a partner who is happy beside me." Zoya's eyes filled with tears, but they were happy ones now. Sarah, sitting quietly on a small stool, felt her heart almost burst with joy. Hours passed like minutes. When the two families finally stood to leave, they were no longer strangers. Hugs were shed. Zoya's mother touched Auntie Plug's cheek and whispered, "Thank you for protecting my daughter's heart when I almost hurt it." Fahad's father shook Auntie Plug's hand warmly. "Your parlor didn't just make our bride beautiful on the outside, it made both families beautiful on the inside." The wedding happened 10 days later. It was the most beautiful wedding the mohalla had ever seen. The parlor was decorated like a fairy tale with flowers and lights. Auntie Plug and Sarah worked day and night to make Zoya glow like a princess, not just with makeup, but with real happiness. When Zoya walked down the aisle in her red lehenga, Fahad's eyes filled with tears. He whispered, so only she could hear, "You are the most beautiful person I know." Sarah stood beside Auntie Plug, watching the nikah. Auntie held her hand tightly. After the wedding, the new couple came back to the parlor one more time. Zoya hugged Sarah so hard she almost couldn't breathe. "You were my little angel," Zoya whispered. "Because of you, I didn't just get married, I married the right person with a happy heart." Fahad placed a small gift box in Sarah's hands, a gold bracelet with a tiny heart charm. "Thank you for being braver than all of us," he said. Years passed. Auntie Plug and Sarah's beauty parlor became famous not just for making women look pretty, but for spreading kindness, courage, and second chances. Sarah grew up, went to college, and came back to run the parlor with Auntie Plug. They started free beauty classes for poor girls and a small fund to help sick mothers, just like Sarah's mummy was once. Whenever a nervous bride came in, Sarah would smile and say, "Don't worry, we don't just do makeup here, we fix hearts too." And on the parlor wall, in beautiful writing, hung a big photo from Zoya and Fahad's wedding day. Zoya laughing happily in Fahad's arms, with Auntie Plug and little Sarah standing proudly beside them. Under the photo were the words, "True beauty begins when fear ends and love begins."
And that brings us to the end of this beautiful story. Little Sarah showed us that no matter how small you are, your kindness can change lives. Auntie Plug Salon didn't just become a place for beauty, it became a home filled with love, second chances, and hope. Always remember, a single act of courage and care can light up the darkest days. Thank you for watching till the end. If this story touched your heart, please like, share with your loved ones, and subscribe to Auntie Plug for more feel-good stories. Comment below which moment made you smile or tear up the most. God bless you all. Take care and spread kindness today.